Alright, let's begin with our first question. Please always mark the keyword. It will help us to arrive at the correct answer quickly. We need to make sure efficient report support. What is the minimum number of Power BI datasets required? Option A says one dataset loaded through import mode. A single imported dataset can serve multiple reports without duplication, ensuring optimized resource usage. Let's keep it. If you want the PDF version of this course, please enroll in Diamond membership or above by clicking the join button now. Once enrolled, please connect and inbox me on LinkedIn at the rate of CloudGuru or Instagram at the rate of AmitPhysique. I'll be glad to help you out with the PDF version of this course and hands-on files if available for this course. Option B says two dataset loaded through import mode. Two imported datasets cause redundancy and unnecessary storage overhead. Incorrect. Option C says two datasets configured with direct query mode. Two direct query datasets adds latency and duplicate connections, reducing efficiency. Wrong choice. Option D says one dataset configured with direct query mode. One direct query dataset increases dependency on live queries, which impacts performance compared to import mode. Will eliminate it. Option A is the right answer. Let's bring the heat to the snow. We need to reduce configuration effort while meeting the refresh requirements. Option A, refreshing visuals updates only the view, not the underlying dataset. Incorrect. Option B, manual refresh in desktop requires repeated efforts and doesn't automate updates. Incorrect. Option C says set up a scheduled refresh without using an on-prem data gateway. Scheduled refresh without a gateway automates updates for cloud-based sources with minimal setup. Let's keep it. Option D, gateway configuration adds extra steps and is only required for on-prem sources. Incorrect. Option C is the right answer. Let's now look at this question. We need to make sure reporting accuracy. What should be created in terms of Power BI measure or calculated column? Option A, sum x with filter adds unnecessary complexity when requirement is handling blanks. Incorrect. Option B, ABS only converts negative value to positive, which doesn't solve missing data issues. Incorrect. Option C says a calculated column using the formula if is blank sales amount 0 sales amount. If is blank replaces nulls with 0, ensuring consistent reporting for the sales department. Let's keep it. Option D, sum measures aggregates totals but doesn't address blank values in the dataset. We'll delete it. Option C is the right answer. Now let's look at this scenario here. The report should include a visualization that highlights the percentage of late shipments. What type of Power BI visualization should be chosen? Option A, pie chart shows proportions but is less effective for comparing categorical percentages in reports. Incorrect. Option B, scatter plot is meant for correlation analysis, not categorical percentage visualization. Will eliminate it. Option C says a bar chart to compare late and on-time deliveries by percentage. Bar chart clearly compares categories and highlights the percentage of late orders in a straightforward way. Let's lock option C as the right answer. Alright, now let's look at this. So here we want Analyst to quickly drill down in Power BI visuals from business unit to product details. Option A, grouping fields organizes them but doesn't provide drill down capability in visuals. Incorrect. Option B, calculated table creates new data structures but doesn't enable drill down navigation. Wrong answer. Option C sees a hierarchy to allow drill down from business unit to product. Hierarchy supports drill down paths, letting analyst move from business unit to product seamlessly. We'll keep it. Option D, calculated column adds new values but doesn't provide drill down functionality. We'll eliminate it. Option C is the right answer. Now let's look at this question. The reports must allow analysts to evaluate both order dates and ship dates efficiently. Option A says in Power Query, create a date table and link it with an active relationship to order date and an inactive relationship to ship date. Date table with active and inactive relationships supports flexible analysis across both order date and ship date. Let's keep it. Let's move to option B. Option B, adding columns for order date only limits analysis and ignores ship date requirements. Incorrect. Option C, auto date time is a quick feature but lacks control for multiple date fields. Wrong choice. Option D, adding multiple DAX columns increases complexity and doesn't provide relationship management. Wrong answer. Option A is the right choice. All right. Now let's look at this. We need to minimize data set size while still meeting reporting requirements. Option A, grouping by category ID restructures data but doesn't reduce dataset size. Incorrect. Option B says remove the quantity per unit field from the products table. Removing quantity per unit eliminates an unused column, reducing dataset size without affecting reporting needs. We'll keep it. Option C, filtering discontinued products reduces rows but may remove data still needed for historical reporting. Wrong answer. Option D, converting order ID to text increases storage requirements instead of reducing them. We'll eliminate it. Option B is the right answer. All right. Now let's look at this. So analysts need a calculated column that displays the month in a clear format to meet reporting requirements. Option A produces month and year in a readable format, aligning with reporting needs. Let's keep it. Now option B basically concatenates values but adds complexity and formatting inconsistencies. Wrong choice. Option C basically uses date ID instead of the actual date field, which may not align with reporting logic. Wrong answer. Option D basically displays month and year in a shortened format that reduces clarity. Wrong answer. Option is the correct choice. Let's now look at this question. So we need to resolve environment data concerns and ensure accurate reporting. Option A, ABS only changes negative values to positive, not solving the reporting concern. Incorrect. Now option B, sum X with filter ensures only positive sales amount values are aggregated, addressing the data issue. Let's keep it. Option C, sum aggregates all values including problematic ones, which doesn't resolve the concern. Wrong answer. Option D, if is blank replaces nulls but doesn't handle filtering of unwanted values. Let's eliminate it. Option B is the right choice. Let's now look at this scenario. We are designing Power BI reports to track performance. Option A says a measure using the formula count rows sales. Count rows counts rows in the sales table, giving the department the required reporting metric. Let's keep it. Option B, count A in a calculated column adds row level values but doesn't provide efficient aggregation. Incorrect. Option C, sum on sales ID is invalid since ID are identifiers, not numeric values for aggregation. Incorrect. Option D. Some measures on sales ID is not meaningful because IDs cannot be total for reporting. Let's delete it. Option A is the right answer. So please don't go away. Let's meet in next part of the series. If you want the PDF version of this course, please enroll in Diamond membership or above by clicking the join button now. Once enrolled, please connect and inbox me on LinkedIn at the rate of CloudGuru Amit or Instagram at the rate of Amit Physique. I'll be glad to help you out with the PDF version of this course and hands-on files if available for this course. Thank you so much for watching this video.